Okay, folks, my name is Richard. I don't know if you know what one of these is. This is a 1996 Cadillac DeVille. Now, sometimes these Cadillacs can be a little ornery when it comes to computer systems, and they can nickel and dime you to death. Well, here is what happened to me. Now, before I show you what's going to go down, I'm showing you my car and how similar it is to everybody's. Wait, what's that? Oh yeah, one of the defects I was talking about. The trunk mechanism has to be hydraulically pulled down every time you put something in and out of it. Well, I was on my way to my mother's funeral the other day. I put my wife's wheelchair in the back because she has extreme Graves' disease. She's not able to move around, so short story to follow up. So my trunk malfunctions. So I go to the dealership. The dealership says, well, there's nothing we can do for you, Mr. Devers. There's not much that we can do. Our mechanics have looked at it. We've gone over the parts, and you're just going to have to wait for the parts to come in from our factory in Chicago, and it's going to cost you about $470, which is about average for everything on a Cadillac. If anybody's ever owned one, I just paid a nice hefty sum for an alternator and a battery. But as you know, I just bought the alternator and battery, and this runs it down because the light stays on when it's open like this. There is a safety feature after about a couple minutes that seems to save me some power, but still the function is still there, and it stays on, and it runs down the battery. Well, I'm going to try to show you quickly how to fix this real quick. Now, for example, I put the trunk back the way it was, how it bounces. Hold on, I'm going to get my son's help here. Brandon. So that way you can see me. Just hold on to that. Now, stay there and see how my trunk bounces. I've had to deal with that up and down the highway, everywhere I go. I got my wife's wheelchair in here all the time. Well, they said they could not fix it. Well, I come home, mad as a wet hen, because I've already paid $30 some odd to have them look at the car itself and tell me and send me away that they can't help me. I come home, I grab my little toolkit, my little box of tools. I'm not a very bright man, didn't even graduate high school. But yet, here I come to fix my own trunk system. So, I start by getting rid of the bungee, which I've been using for a couple days now, which has been quite a hindrance, because I've had to stop every couple miles and reconnect it. And you come in here, you'll see 4 little screws on both sides. There's 2 on this side, 1 on top, 1 on bottom. There's the same on the other side. Can you see them? Mm-hmm. Okay. Then what that does is that takes off this whole bottom piece. But you're going to have to lift your, I forget the name of it, while I'm unwrapping these, the compartment for your spare tire. See how the little stuff slips your mind? And it just goes to show I'm not the brightest man in the dark. So as I'm going to unscrew these, now anybody who's ever had a hydraulic trunk is really perturbed and upset at the cost that they have to pay every couple of years when it goes out, which averages about $170, maybe $225, depending on the service and where you go. Some parts you can only get from the dealership. Well, they used to get my money. Every couple of years I'd go in, get a new motor for my hydraulic system, spend the money, spend the time and effort sitting in their service area. Sorry, just a average day on the highway. Then I'm going to take all these off. You're going to need to put those back, so try to keep them in one generalized location. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. That way I can show you guys exactly what to do. So, start by taking this big compartment off, which the bottom part will be under your tire assembly unit. Take that off, place it on the ground, do not break it because you're going to need to put that back. Don't step on it. Open the trunk compartment. Now, when I first looked it over, this part was connected to here. It was sitting on there just like that, has a screw right there. And this connects in there here, and that's what your trunk mechanism should look like. So, you start by taking these wires off, which are probably either fried or taped up like mine were, burnt out. You start by taking the screw out of here. This is going to take a little finagling, but you're going to remove this. You're going to set that aside. You're going to move these wires aside because you're not really going to be using them. You get the tool size you need for the job, which in this case is the 7/16. And then you commence. There's 2 bolts, one on each side. There's one on the front and one on the back. You commence to taking those off. We're going to pause for a minute while I take these off and then continue recording.